Alright guys, so the next project, another lighting slash electronic video for you. I found this old 8-ball vanity light. It's had better days and it's missing the decorative piece that would go in there, so we're going to have to make some type of sheet metal piece for it. The main thing I saved it for was the sockets, so I may not even use this piece of metal, but we'll see. That was trash found. Found it, someone threw it away. And this stuff I had to buy, obviously. So I got an 8 relay board here. You can find these on Amazon. If you remember in the garage door light video, it was basically just one of these. You can buy them pretty much any number you need. They also have a high and low trigger. This is 5-volt DC, what these are. So we got a 5-volt DC power supply to power everything. 8-position rotary switch. And diodes. The lights are going to be 120 volt AC, and all the control wiring is 5 volts DC from this power supply. So here's what we want to do. This is 8 position. So with setting 1, we want 1 ball born. Setting 2, 2, and 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, and 8. All of them. I don't want it to just select one at a time. So if you wire the switch directly up to this, it's just going to switch 1 relay, 2 relay, 3 relay, and it's just going to be 1 bulb, like a dot display. So we're going all the way, so we have 8 on, 7 on, all the way down to 1, and there'll be another little toggle switch for off. So the relay board, this is going to be mounted up here at the ceiling in the garage up here, just for an auxiliary lighting. I'll probably have like Edison style bulbs in it, just in case I want a warm light or not too much light on in the garage. This board here is going to be in the up there with it. Then, so it's just going to have one 120 volt cord going to it. Then the power supply will also be up here with it. But the switch will be down here somewhere on the workbench. So I'm just going to run like an Ethernet cable down to it and use the individual wires to do that. That way it's just low voltage here at the switch. All the high voltage or 120 is going to be all up here. I figured that'd be simpler than running 9 16 or 18 gauge wires up to it, and just have one cable with the small control wires. Alright, so enough talk. I'm going to have to come up with a circuit here for the diodes to allow each one to come on. I'm going to try 2 different ways, and I'll report back as soon as I get the way to do it. Alright, so I got it to work. If you notice, this red light's indicating that this relay's on. That's the only one that's on. It's on position 1. So what we got here, we got diodes going across to each one of them, which, diodes allow electricity to flow in one direction. This one's just stuck in here to have something anchored to. It's not doing anything. And there's 2 extra ones here between 7 and 1 and 8 and 2. So I was hooked all the way straight here. I was getting too much of a voltage drop, and it only allows 6 of them to be on. So with this, I can get all 8. So basically, when the power is coming in on 1, the diode's blocking it from going this way, so it goes straight in and just turns that 1 on. So when 2's on, obviously it's hooked straight to the second one, and it flows through the diode, keeping number 1 on. And when 3's on, it's blocked from going this way, but it allows the current to flow this way, and it's hooked to 3. The same way all the way up to 8, so when power's coming in on 8, it's hooked straight to 8, and it flows all the way through all of the diodes. And I had to put 2 extra ones in to compensate for the voltage drop. And I tried the low setting on the jumper here, and I think it acts like a threshold that the voltage has to be like below a certain voltage, and it just wasn't there and it wasn't working. So the green light indicates that the power is coming in, and each one of them red lights will indicate the relay it's on. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now there's going to be a toggle switch between the main wire feeding this rotary switch. That way, like right now, I can turn all of them on and back off like that. Or if it's whatever setting, the toggle switch will toggle what's on. So it will work. Alright, so as you've seen, I got that working. I was trying to figure out if I want the relay box to be like at the controls or have this at the top. The control separate from this, I'd have to have two cables run, because there'd be a power cable running up to the light and a control cable running between this and the switch. So I was trying to find a multi-conductor wire and came across this. This is a 9-conductor 18 gauge. This is actually speaker cable, as you can see. It's really flexible. So it's got 9 wires in here. So that'll allow 8 wires for the 8 hot wires feeding each individual bulb. And it'll be a ground/neutral it'll be shared. It'll ground the frame of that and provide the neutral for the bulbs. So I think it'll work. The only possible problem, since this is actual speaker cable, which I wasn't aware of that until it just came in, you know, maybe the insulation is not rated for a certain voltage, but you know, an audio signal running the speakers is an AC signal, so, and there is a decent amount of voltage running the speakers, so it just depends. So I don't think it'll be a problem, but we'll find out. Also, this is going to be the control box. This is an old parallel data switch. I've had a couple of these and I use them for other projects and stuff. This thing's probably about 20 or 30 years old, and so the switch will be going in here. It'll be a main on and off switch, and there's plenty of room to add anything else if we ever want to do any more modifications or anything. So let's do some stuff off camera. I'm going to paint this off camera. Don't know what color yet. So I'm going to try to keep this video from being long and or boring, but I really wanted to show this to you, how these things are set up, but there's just so many wires in here. It's just crazy that, you know, it switches back and forth between all of the connections on these ports. Alright, so I just went ahead and painted it. It's going to be a few days on the rest of the assembly of the light bar itself. I just went with a gray, be a black on gray look like everything else. I drilled this big hole right here for the clamp. I'm using a bigger type clamp. Alright, just testing the sockets here and just got a very temporary setup hooked up here. These are all LED bulbs. I'm just testing the light output here just to kind of see how bright it is. And it's actually pretty bright. I mean, it's, you know, equivalent of 800 watts probably, if these are all 100 watt equivalents. And I just switched these two lights around, and it is the bulb. There's something wrong with that particular bulb. Alright, so a little change of plans, in a way. I'm trying to find something to make the framework out of, and I came across these two kick plates that are actually made out of brass as far as I can tell. So I'm just going to make it out of it. I was going to cut it down to make it look better and do away with these holes, but it's not like you're going to be able to really see it, you know, anyway. And it still has plastic on it, so it'll be able to make it look really nice once we get it cut and everything. Well, not cut, but so it's going to be a two-piece thing. I always wanted to make it one piece, but you know, it don't really matter. I'll just make it overlap right in the middle. So I just got to bend it on these two lines. It's 2 inches in, 4 inches wide to match that, and another 2 inches for the spacing. Then we'll just have to figure out a way to anchor it to this after we drill the holes in it. Alright, so I got the basic shape of it done. I just got to hammer the rest of it out to get the dents and creases out of it. But you can kind of see how it's going to go. That was the second one. The first one didn't turn out quite as good. I had a few issues with it, so I'm going to have to hammer it out a little bit more. Alright, so a bit of an update here after I formed the covers on here. It didn't turn out the best. I'm not the best person to bend stuff like this, but it turned out halfway decent. And plus, it's going to be all the way up here on the wall, so it'll be fine. I put these little pieces of wood in here to serve two things: to close the ends off, allow an anchor point for the cord, and an anchor point for these. I'll put a couple of screws down in here into it. One in the middle because it's going to overlap, and another one down here in the end. So that's kind of what's going to happen with that. So now at this point, this is a shell, I guess you call it. It's going to fit inside here. So this part's going to be exposed. So I'm going to paint this edge and the two pieces on both ends black, just to kind of cover up the grimy look of this metal. Alright, so the 9-conductor wire comes in here. Everything splits off. Had to extend a few wires on down. So what I did with the ground, you see I used the green wire. The other green with the black stripe is one of the lights. And it ties into the neutral and the ground, so it's not truly ground, but I had to have a 10 conductor wire to do that, but it'll be safe. It's not like anybody's going to be touching it or anything. I notched this piece of wood for the wires to fit through, just to help keep it organized. Taped off all the unused wires that ran between, and finally tapers down to the last 2 wires. So I'm going to test it here in a little bit. I'm going to take a hot glue gun and glue this really good on both sides, and maybe glue a few spots inside here if I think it's necessary. And I think that'll be just fine. So I did change my idea on how I'm going to mount it to the wall. I was going to run straight through here in like 3 spots. I'm going to put a little bracket over here. That way we can go ahead and put the covers on here. There'll be a whole complete assembly ready to go up, and then just be 2 screws holding it in. Okay, so I'm going to get ready to test this. Let me show you how I got it set up. Don't do this. I'm always telling you not to do stuff, and I always end up doing it. You know, obviously I could get up against the metal workbench here, but I should have all these in order. I got the green hooked up to the neutral here. This is just a green wire, but it's hooked into the hot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll just go down the line here and see if they come on right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's an actual incandescent bulb, and 8. Alright, so I'm getting ready to put it up on the wall, and I just wanted to show you how I did the brackets here. And I'm probably just going to put 1 screw on each side and be fine. And also the bulbs came in for it. There's the specs on it. Pretty bright, not quite as bright as what these are. 650 lumens a piece. So that's what we're going with for now. We can always change it out later. And these are actual glass bulbs too. LED, of course. Alright guys, so there it is. It's all mounted. Like I said, I just got all of them hooked up straight to the cord right now. And I just thought I'd check the amperage on it, and it's only drawing 0.47 amps, which comes out to 56.4 watts. Alright, so I'm getting ready to wire up the control box. I mean, it's pretty simple what we're going to do here as far as most of the parts go. Alright, so just a real quick in between. Got everything wired up here, and getting ready to put everything in the box here. Tested it real quick. It does work. I'm not going to ruin the surprise. We'll look at it in a minute. I just kind of want to show you with all the wiring before and after we put it in the box. Alright, so it's a little crowded in here, but we got everything in here. We want to see a problem right there, and diodes are touching, but I'll fix it here in just a second. Alright, so it's all back together. I had to put different screws in it because I lost the original screws except for like 1 or 2, but it's working. I just kind of put the ground wire right there on the clamp, on that clamp right there. I might eventually just run it over and put it on that screw or something. I didn't want to just drill a hole through there and have the screw sticking out or something, so I might come up with something better than that. But it works. And all on or all off, or whatever's selected, you can turn on and off with the small switch. So it's going to be left on 8 most of the time, so that's what we're going to leave it on. So now I just got to make some labels and make it look a little fancier. And I need some little feet on the bottom of it to keep it from just hitting the workbench like that. And we got to find a place to put that. Got about a 4-foot cord on it. The way it's wired here may be different than what's in the schematic. The switch is on the 120 coming in, so the power supply loses power too, so it draws absolutely 0 power when the switch is off. Well, just put all the control labels on there. The numbers part didn't work out the best. It's kind of hard to do that, at least for me. So I just ran it back over here and brought it down behind the workbench and put it right here. Here it is a good spot, and just plugs it in right here on the bar, which may end up being plugged in back here in case I get tired of seeing that. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. It's probably longer than I was planning on. I do want to say one more thing. This idea was inspired by something from a movie. And it's from a 1999 movie, and if anybody can guess the movie, well, I'm not going to give you nothing or anything. But it'd just be kind of interesting to see if anybody knows what I'm talking about. Like I said, it's a 1999 movie. That's what inspired this. I just happened to find an old vanity light with 8 sockets on it in a junk pile. But yeah, let me know what movie it's from. I guess in a way it could be kind of like a replica or a tribute to that movie in a way. But it's not the only reason I did it. That's kind of what inspired me. I just thought it'd be kind of a neat idea just for something different, because I'm always obsessed with lighting and heating and anything electrical pretty much. So alright guys, so thanks for watching. Questions, comments, if you know the movie, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks for watching guys. Catch you on the next one.